Habt ihr Lust auf Rock'n'Roll? Wir haben das einzeln geübt. Mit mal ein bisschen schneller. Adi, toi, three.
Well, Alexei Prokofiev and Sebastian Weingarten, they know each other from, as I now know, from lots of projects they made for the Stuttgart Samara friendship. And Alexei, I think he asked Sebastian. He said, "Oh, I need an artist, and he has to come here in 1 month. So we need a spontaneous person."
Exactly, the spontaneity. I also heard that you came here pretty not that planned for a German person.
Yeah, not that planned for a German person. Yeah, absolutely.
How do you like it here so far?
I love it. I had a blast. Really, I had a blast since I don't know when we came here 4 days ago. We landed in St. Petersburg, and since then it's just it's great. It's amazing. You know, inspiration is everywhere. So,
Have you found any here?
yes, lots of inspiration. I mean,
So we can wait for a Samara song coming soon up?
maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think I experience a lot of music. So music is always, for me, it's the most spontaneous thing. So I'm, you know, I was telling, I was at the Volga last night, and just wandering a bit and strolling along on the beach, and this was something. Yeah, there was so much music in the air, so it was like I just if there would have been a piano, I think I would have sitting there for hours and played piano. So this is just, there's so much music, and there is but now I can't really say, because it was so many impressions. Since I'm in Russia, this is tons of impressions and tons of people I met, and it's looking into my history, and because my father he was in the war, and he was a prisoner of war. He was telling me a lot of stories. I was asking a lot of when I was a kid, and he was a hobby musician, and he was bringing a lot of songs from Russia, and he loved Russian music, and actually he said the Russians, they are great people, and he was like, I mean, this is strange, but you know, I think he was like 19, and he was in Hitler Jugend and everything, and he was like, yeah, we do the right thing, and we have to fight for Germany, whatever. And then he went to the war, and he saw what war means to the people, and then he was really changing his mind, and he was trying to survive somehow, but I know he knows that he did wrong, he all the time. So, and yeah, but on the other side, yeah, he tried to make it through. he spent, I think he spent a lot of time with Russian people, and they were, I don't know, I think this is something that maybe came from through the music, because so he was playing on the, I say accordion, I don't know the English word, so it's accordion. He was playing accordion, and so I think this was somehow, I mean, it's easy to connect via music. And so I had that in other countries, so someone is singing something to you and you try to figure out the melody and you try to remember, oh, what's he singing? And then, yeah, you find the chords and you find to play that, and then you sing along with each other. And this is something very human, I think, and very also intimate. Not about, you know, it's not about politics and it's not about everything else. So it's just about you are in a certain moment, and for that moment it just works. I think, I mean, there were a lot of people speaking really great German. So I realized that more after the concert, when people came to me and they were, yeah, speak perfect German. And they were telling me about the concert and what I think about it and my work. And well, yeah, it was like, you know, it was just an experiment. You go there and you do something, you start at a certain point and you see what happens. I think this is making connection somehow, and this is what we should do and what we always try to do. So maybe it's not about understanding each word. So it's about finding the things that connect you, and then maybe you can care about everything else. But first you have to make a connection. I think what I heard from people now after the concert is many people said they were touched. So this was, for many people, this was the first thing. They said, well, it really touched my heart. And maybe German audience often is more like, oh, I got it, yeah, I think about this, and my opinion is this. And so here many people came and I said, first, thank you, you touched my heart with your music and your singing, with what you did. And then maybe there's something else, but the first, yeah, maybe that's different. It's just a guess, you know?
Your music.
Ist nur Selbstbetrug, egal wie gut ich bin. Ich bin nicht gut genug. Was ich tue und was ich denke, ist meine Uhr am Handgelenk.
I really want to ask you something, because you mentioned it also now a lot, that music is about creating connections for you. But you also had this song which was a little bit controversial, singing about the right-wing AfD party,
Yeah.
and a protest song to them. But at the same time, you're thinking that they are still people and you still need to go to them somehow. Are there some ways or some people or some issues which cannot be addressed through your music?
I'm totally sure there are. Of course. I mean, I thought music is a way to connect to people, of course, but it's not a way to solve the problems of the world. You know, you have to go deeper than that. But to go deep, I think the first thing you have to find something in common. And sometimes this is very tough. I met a CIA agent. She was writing a book, and she was saying in human intelligence, she was talking about human intelligence, which was what she did. And she said, human intelligence is the only kind of intelligence work that makes connections to other people. And basically what she did was to find common ground with the people who wished her death the most. That was her job. And nowadays she's like a peace activist, but her conclusion of all her work is that if we don't find common ground, we have no way to solve this hate and the problems. And I'm thinking a lot about that. I saw that like 6 weeks ago or so. I saw her, and I think there's so much truth in that, and it's also extremely tough to do it.
Of course it is, because yet you write a protest song. Has it been welcomed with broad arms? I believe not.
No, of course not. I mean, but everything also has its time, and I think if you go on a stage in front of a large audience, sometimes it's good to make like a statement, to say, okay, this is what I believe in, and this is what I think is right, and this is what I don't accept also, or I'm just making. I mean, all I do is, I'm always working with humor, and humor is never, it's never so clear. And there are some people, they just don't get it, so what can you do? But on the other hand, if you, like eye to eye, when you're meeting with people, I think it's different. And I think but nowadays, we're talking a lot about filter bubbles, and we're talking about people are just hanging out with people who think the same as they do, and so there's no other opinions confronting them, and that this is a problem because everyone thinks all the others think like I do, and so maybe I think that we can somehow solve that when we're eye to eye with each other, but probably not with huge audiences. So it's both. One thing I always come back to as a statement is that I try to open to the moment and to the persons I'm with in that moment. So this is something, I don't know, I didn't improvise so much today because, it's also very language related, and I wasn't sure how far I can go. And but in Germany, in my shows, I improvise also a lot, and I try to make something out of this evening with these people who are there, and the things sometimes they shout something on stage, and I try to work with that, and I try to be in a, as an artist, sometimes you think, okay, I can go there, and I make a plan, I go there, I follow the plan, and I'm off. So, but this is the opposite for me of making a connection. And so I think this is my jazz approach. I love jazz. And I'm not doing jazz on stage, but there's a certain way of thinking. And this is, don't rely too much on what you have in your bag. Just go there and have a look what's there and try to make something out of it.
Mit mir.